Okay, so recording has started. If you can join me on video, that would be lovely. So we can take pictures. All right, so today is not my class. Tomorrow is my class. I'm supposed to handle um film editing with you. But unfortunately, our facilitator who is supposed to handle lighting for you is unavoidably absent. His dad is in the hospital, and it's like an emergency, and they had to. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. So please, you pardon us, and you'd just work with me. Of course, I've done a lot of productions, especially on my mobile device, and that's why I can give you. I'm not an authority, specifically in sound and lighting, but I have done a lot of productions with my mobile device, so I can help you through one or two areas that has to do with light and sound because they are very important to filmmaking. See, you can give me. I think when I started my media journey, I started from radio, so I have a bias for um, sound. Like you can give me a production and the visual can be so beautiful, like you can use an iPhone to shoot for me, and it will be so fine, but your sound is shitty. I'll throw that piece of trash away. That's how bad you know or that's how good I am with sound, or that's how bad I am with sound. Like I love sound. Like your sound is your film. If your sound is crappy, your film is you know so I don't even know how people did it before when Charlie Chapman, what they call him, Charlie Chaplin was doing that. You know, although his acting was impeccable, but sound is very important. So let's start from lighting. I want this to be interactive. I don't want to hear too much of my voice, and today is not my turn to teach you. So I'm saving my voice and energy for tomorrow because we have to deal on something very important, piecing everything that you've learned these past days into a beautiful piece of art editing. That's what I'm supposed to be doing with you tomorrow. But right now, we're talking about lighting and sound. So I'm just going to give you some tips and tricks. The good thing about today is that our facilitator, who was supposed to take this class, already taught last year on AWMIFF 2021, and it has some recording. Although they are very bulky, they are very long. We have like 3 parts of his lighting tutorial. I'm going to send it to the group, so if you can, you watch it. But I'll also send short clips from other YouTubers that I saw that I think will be, worth it for you as well. Okay, so tip number one, let's start with lighting because I'm looking at my time and I want us to be done by 10:30 max with everything, both interaction and Q&A. So I'll just run through some tips and then you can ask me your questions and then we'll just walk through it. And, you go and catch up on the videos I would send while you're doing, you're getting feedbacks from your facilitators from yesterday. Okay. So that's the modus operandi for this particular um, class we are having now. So lighting. What is lighting? Okay. So just like we have lights, right? Um, you need lighting to make your pictures look presentable. Now, take note of the words presentable. I didn't mean, I'm not saying you need lighting to make your videos look bright. You need lighting to make your visual look presentable. So for instance, you want to light a dark scene. Unlike some Nollywood movies that you watch, you would see that the place is supposed to be dark, but then you are seeing lights from one area reflecting into. Does anybody have that experience? Have you noticed it? Like one particular area will just be white. So you know that they are putting light from that place just to light the actor's face. Or you know, what do we call it now? Different areas like um, basically you want your film to look presentable in the aspect that your lighting can either be good or bad. So, for instance, Arafat has done theater, and I know that for the theater, they tell you the difference in lighting. I'm sure the other person coming to take costume and props tonight is going to, this evening, is going to shed more light on the importance of these things. So, lighting is also important because it carries your visual. It helps the audience to understand it. So, while you're busy putting your camera, pointing and shooting, you also want to convey a mood, a feeling, a scenario. You want your audience to be able to feel something. So, for instance, you're doing a love scene. We know the psychology of colors, right? If I'm seeing red on screen, it's either I'm shooting a love scene or I'm saying there is danger somewhere, there's danger ahead or something like that. So your lighting can also work alongside your costume, your props, and your scenery, to convey the message you want to convey. Your lighting is important. Okay, so your lighting can be dramatic, can be just there. Some directors, employ very heavy lighting on their set because they want to convey this energy. Like, hey, like for sci-fi movies especially, where you see Terminator and the rest, they have this heavy lighting to show that, hey, these are metals. You're seeing a metal on screen and the rest. So depending on what you're trying to convey, the message you're trying to convey, your lighting can do that for you. And that's the basics of lighting. So for you who is just starting and you're trying to shoot with your mobile device and you're thinking, hey, I'm talking about Terminator. Are you about to shoot a Terminator? Okay, so let's come down to the basics for us using our mobile device. Those who are using iPhones have control. There are different areas of your lighting. I tried to talk about that yesterday when we were talking about cinematography. So when you turn on your normal camera, if you turn on your normal video cam, and then you point and shoot, just click the record button and you move your cam like this. You will notice that some parts are dark, some parts are light. Fluctuate. There is that, it's not constant. But that is one thing you notice in um, camera digital films, that when you watch a cinematic film, you notice that the light is stable. The light is stable. So that is when you pick your exposure. You've chosen the kind of light you want to convey. This is how I want my picture to look, and you want a stable light on it. So you need control for that light. So for those who have iPhones, kudos. You already have it inbuilt into your camera. So all you need to do is when you point and shoot, when you're ready to capture your video, all you need to do is tap and hold on your camera. You can either change the lighting on your camera, make it darker, make it brighter by just tapping and holding on the part where you want the light to focus. And you'll see the yellow focus, autofocus, what do they call it now? Come up on your screen, and then you can tap and lock it. Okay, for those who don't have iPhones, you're thinking, hey, what do I now do? I don't have iPhone now, so how do I shoot? Hey, not to worry, not to worry. There are a lot of hacks and tips and tricks for this. You can get certain apps. Yes, my favorite app for beginners is Open Camera. Go and get Open Camera. Download it from your Play Store. Open Camera will help you control your lighting because when you have pointed your camera to shoot, you don't want your actor's face to get dark when you're trying to get a bright light on your actor's face. You want your light to be stable. That's what will convey very important messaging. We don't want that fluctuating lighting. So for iPhone users, I've told you how to do it. So for Android users, please go and get Open Camera. That's the simplest you can use. So when you get your light, the moment you've turned on your video and you're sure that, hey, this is the light I want to use for my video, I'm sure this is the light I want to use, you will see a padlock on your Open Camera. Just click that padlock and it's going to lock that light in for you. it's going to lock the light for you. So no matter what you do, if you like move from here to here, tilt, do all of your movements, the light will remain the same. So it locks that light in just the same way the iPhone camera locks the light. So all you need to do is move around and you get that same constant light. And that is what you need to shoot a good picture on your mobile device. Okay? So I said I was just going to drop tips and tricks. So we're already on 10:15, 10:13. Let's move to sound quickly. Remember, I'm just giving you tips and tricks from my own experience, working on set with my mobile device. These are quick tips. Of course, you're going to watch some other videos after now. Next up is sound. So please, 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 I know that a lot of us are working on a budget and you're thinking, hey, I don't have equipment to get me, I don't have so much money to get me all those big equipments. I'm seeing like boom mic, I'm seeing this mic, and the rest. Okay, so if you can get a lapel mic, good and fine. Please get a lapel mic. A lapel mic is okay, let me just get one for you. Let me just show you one. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So a lapel mic is something like this. I can't use it on this call now because I won't be able to hear you when you speak to me. So you can connect this end to your phone. It's like your earphone plug. You connect it to your phone, and then this can capture sound, and you can see, look at this is removable. This is like a filter. This is like a filter, and this is the mic. So you have this to filter sound for you. It's just like when you go to the studio, they have this big one, the big type of the filter for you, over the mic, so that when you're hearing all those, all those kind of extra sound you don't want in your film, this would already clear some for you. Then you can polish during post-production. Okay. Next up is, if you cannot get this
Please,
one.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Okay, so it's with regards to the lapel mic. I don't know, is the wire very long? Because the mic is supposed to be with your actor, the one who act out your character for you, right? So is it very
Yes.
long to be connected to the phone? I don't know how it works. Can you explain it? Because if I am shooting the person, the actress or the actor, it should be with the person speaking, right? And I would hold the
Yes.
camera opposite the person. So is it very
Yes.
long to do that? The wire.
Yes. Okay.
Oh,
Yes, you can. One other thing I need to mention here is that your lapel mic most times would come with an extension if you buy in the box, but if you don't, you will need to buy them separately. Okay, so this is the original wire. I think this should be like, I don't know how many inches this is. Just look at it. I don't know how many inches this is, but when you get this alone will not serve you, because some phones are not configured to work with a mic. They are only configured to work with your earpiece. Okay, so it's
okay.
safe to get the mic with this and then get an extension. So the extension wires, you can now choose the kind of length you want. Okay. And also, the reason I'm talking about connecting directly to your phone, most times you don't even need to connect to your phone. There is an amplifier box or something where you can just, connect the way they connect the boom mics and the rest. There is like a box where you can connect multiple microphones to. So if you can afford that, but that's going to be into your budget. It's going to eat into your budget too. So I'm just talking about we that are shooting zero to, almost no budget. Do you understand? So that's what I'm talking about right now. So for those that want
Okay.
to start and thinking, how can I start right now? This is how you can start. You don't need to have too much to start. Okay, so get your microphone just to get safe, clean sound. And now let's go to the 0000 for those who are very flat that are looking at, okay, how do I start affording a microphone now? Start looking for extension and I need to do my project and, you know. All right, so there is another tip, another trick for you. This particular the earpiece I'm using now, you can hear me, I can hear you, Abby. It's conveying sound, right? Am I talking to myself? Hope people are still on this
Oh,
call
we
with
are
me.
listening.
Can hear you.
Uh-huh. All right.
I
So,
normally put my mic off because I don't want any noise to come into
yes,
it. So that's why.
yes, yes, just follow me. I want to feel like I'm talking to you. This is all my class, so tomorrow I want to hear your voices. Okay?
Okay.
So, but this one I'm just trying to, make up for, you know, the facilitator.
All
So um, another tip or hack to using your um to using getting good sound if you cannot afford a microphone yet is to use your earpiece, your earplug. Now, how can you do this? Sarati, you were saying you needed to put your mic, you need to connect the mic to your character, your actor. You really don't need to connect your mic on to your actor. You just need to get it as close enough as possible. Okay?
okay.
Because if your actor is performing some and the mic is on the person and the person is acting out like performing some actions, that can ruffle your sound. For instance, if you clip, I had that issue recently in one of my productions and I had to call the actor again to redo the sound for me. Now, if you clip that mic onto your actor's cloth and the actor is busy doing, hey, hey, and the person is touching their body, the sound will be going, ch, 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 ch. You will get it in your sound. And you don't want that kind of dirty sound in your production, in your post production, because you
Okay.
might not be able to remove it. Okay. So, what you need is to get the mic as close enough as possible to your actor, not on your actor. So, for instance, if your actor is performing, um, let's say sitting down and the actor is going to stand up. So can you look for like a furniture or something, very close to the actor and position the microphone there? Okay, so you just, direct it, close to the actor or close enough to the actor. Or for instance, if you are using this one that I just gave you now, the tip of the earplug that I just gave you, if you're putting your phone on the tripod, all you need to do, since you're focusing on the actor directly in front of the actor, or depending on the kind of shot you're, of course, to get good sound you have to go close to get good sound. So most times in post production, we use sounds from close up shots for even when we are doing long shots, medium shots, and the rest. Okay, so close up gives you better sound. So I'm going to be talking about sound from close up shots now. So if you want to use this, for example, and you're not using the mic, the lapel mic, like I talked about, um, all you need to do is connect it just the way we are connected now, because it's going to pick the sound of the actor when you start recording. All you need to do is hold your cam, flip um the earplug over your phone, not covering the camera, and try to be as still as possible, because even your own movement can make the sound, and it would ruffle your sound. Okay, so just be as still as possible, and whatever the actor is projecting will get into that microphone. So the reason I'm not talking about using your phone microphone directly, because of course you don't even need to connect the plugs to be able to hear, right? You can just, for those that do TikTok and the rest, you really don't need the earphone and the rest to get sound. But the beautiful thing about it is, do you know why people get some of these our earphones, earbuds, all those things? Because there are there's a mixer in those, some people will be like, hey, the bass is high. Like you'll be getting bass, you'll be doing like this because there is already a mixer. So it gives you some kind of outstanding sound different from your phone. Can anybody testify to this? So can anybody testify to this? Have you got some
I
earphones
can.
and yes, aha.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the reason a lot of people get that. So that's why I'm talking about using your lapel mic or your earphone to get good sound during recording. Of course, you can always point your camera and just get the sound from your camera, but it will come out like stereo sound, like shoo, as if you're listening to a radio or something. Okay, so those are the first tips. And now, tips for recording with lighting. So if you're going to be shooting indoor scene, a lot of times, um, if you don't have artificial light, I would advise that you either avoid shooting indoor. If not, your camera, your visual will come out dark if you do not have artificial light. Artificial light is like your ring light, ring light is like the easiest to describe it. So if you do not have your artificial lights, please try to avoid shooting indoors if you don't have very bright light. Like right now, um I'm not using any artificial light. I'm using the normal light from the room. Okay, so if your room is not this bright, this is not even bright enough for me if I wanted to record here. But I'm just saying, if you don't even have this kind of light in your room, please try to avoid shooting indoors because your visual might not come out as appealing as you might want. Of course, you've been seeing different films out there, right? You want your film to be able to compete, in the market of other films that are bright and, attractive to see, to view. People just look at your film and then it's dark and they just lose interest. You don't want that. You want something that is appealing, that will capture your audience's attention at the first instance. So try to avoid shooting indoors if you can. Then if you must shoot outdoors, here are the tips for shooting outdoors. Shoot early in the morning between 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. when the sun is not yet harsh. You can get good lighting, stable lighting. And then evening from 5 to, I think 7 is already, okay, let's just say 4:30 to about 6:30. You might get good lighting. But those are the times when the sun is not harsh, and you can pass for any time of the day. You'll be able to get good lighting for your film. Those are the times to shoot. Okay. If you shoot in the afternoon, except you're a professional, you might not be able to light it well. You'll get that even though you freeze your exposure, the way I've taught you to do on iPhone and on open camera for Android, even though you freeze your exposure, you might still get dark and light kind of fluctuations in your visual, and you don't really want that. So try as much as possible to use daylight to shoot. If you're shooting indoors, yes. If you're shooting indoors, either create a set that faces the door or window, and then they can light their faces. If the light can come in very well from the window, like I'm back in the window now, if I opened this window, it's supposed to be very bright. So if you can have that for your scene, if you want to do an indoor scene, if you can have that kind of bright light coming in, if you open the window to face I'm backing it now. I'm not supposed to back it if I wanted to use that light. Okay, so I'm supposed to face it if I want to use that light to shoot. So, but because I have artificial light in here, I'm just balancing the light like this. Okay. So if you're shooting indoors, get good lighting, get artificial light if you can. If you cannot get artificial light, use the natural light. That is your window or your doors. Make sure your actors are facing it. Okay, and then play with your exposure. For iPhones, the same way you can freeze the exposure, just go up or go down to reduce or increase, and then click and hold and it locks. For your open camera for Androids, go up or down, choose the kind of lighting you want, and then click the padlock on it. Okay, so that is it for lighting from me. And for sound, I think that's the basics. Oh, I'm going to talk about music tomorrow during editing, what music can do to your scene and your film in general. But basically, sound, to get good sound for your film and to get good lighting for your film. I think I've covered it. Any questions before we go? I actually timed myself 10:30. We need to be done with this. So I'll send you the video from your facilitator from last year. He was supposed to connect from Egypt actually. But his dad is sick. So pardon him, pardon us. Okay, so but I hope you got value from this. If you have any contribution, any question, please ask me. All right, so I'm waiting. Grace Oseka, you've been writing. Sahara too, have you followed me till this point? Terry, you're still here. Can I hear you? All right. Sarah too,
So
you're saying something.
yes. So with what was I even going to say? It's skipping. Okay, yes, the background sound, a song, right. So with the background song, is it I mean the sometimes when you watch maybe commercials, there's this. It's not really like someone singing though, but like a sound. Is that what you are talking about? Or other times maybe you can incorporate maybe a song you want to project your movie at the background. So maybe the voice of the actors would be over that song. Is that what you are talking about? So it's like this song will be subtle, it will be singing in the background. So is that what you are talking about?
Okay, so
Okay.
there are
So
different
that,
types of sound. We're going to talk about music tomorrow, but there are different types of sounds.
yeah.
Um, First of all, your ambience. Your ambience. For example, recently I shot a film in a garden. So there are certain sounds that you expect from a garden. For instance, birds chirping, like pew 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 pew. Those sounds. Then like the trees, moving. There's breeze. Those are ambient sound. It's normal. It should be in that scene. So even if you don't have it in the scene, there's something called Foley. There are people that create those sounds, even though you cannot get you don't get it from your exact location, but you want it in your location. There are people that create those sounds artificially for you. They are called Foley or something. So, but there are certain sounds that are important for your scene. If you're shooting in a club, for example, you're expected to have like people, cheering. There's supposed to be like music and the rest. Those are ambient sounds. Okay, that should be in
Okay.
your scene. If you're shooting in a marketplace, there is expected that there are sounds of, or a motor park, for example. People are shouting at each other. People are calling passengers, and the rest. There are certain sounds that are important for your scene to look real. Okay, those are ambient sounds. Now, for the one you're talking about, music, I'm going to go into music tomorrow. I don't want to touch on it today, but let me just give you a feel of it. So for music, you can have instrumentals. Okay, so you can get free music from certain places. We're going to talk about it tomorrow during editing. But you can also get someone to create music for your project. You can also get someone to create music for your project. For example, we have what's the popular one now? Okay, so let me think. Which is the most popular one now? Okay, you're not in Nigeria. I don't know if you know flatmates, but I know a lot of people know flatmates, right? Everybody come and see my flatmates, oh, my flatmates, oh. And the name of the program is called Flatmates. So the person that, you know, created the song, the person that has the project got someone to sing a song for the project. So you can have that if your song is probably truck driver, taxi driver. You can get somebody to sing something around taxi driver for you or something if you want that on your project. Okay. So that is
Okay.
your original. That is your original. Get someone to create sound music for your project. Instrumentals can be gotten, to just maybe liven the mood. For example, we are seeing love scene, and then the guy and the girl are supposed to kiss, and their faces are coming together. Nothing is happening, no dialogue, but we are seeing their faces. What are you going to do? Are you just going to do, let us be looking at them, and then we are just looking at them like nothing is happening? Instead of you to cue us in with your music, like give us like dun, 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 dun. We're supposed to feel in love. That's what your music can do. Okay, so your music can do so much. We're going to talk about where to get free music and several others tomorrow. But these are basically the important parts of your sound. So think about it. What kind of scene am I creating? What kind of sound do I want in my film? Where am I going to be shooting? What sound will be a distraction? Yes, there are sounds that can be distractions. Yes, very important. So an example from my shoot lately, my recent shoot. So we were shooting in this garden, but the garden we're shooting in is like an estate garden, right? And it seems like one of the buildings, they were doing a construction there. So the moment we just turn on the camera, like we'll be talking, we'll be preparing. The moment we just do action, the building, they will just start doing grrrr. It's like they're drilling something. It's like they're drilling something. So we have to cut and wait, for the sound to be done, for them to grill what they want to drill, and then they be done. They will not start again. But the moment, it's like they were timing it. I don't know, but at the point we were so like, okay, we just have to shoot over this thing, like record the actors quickly, and then we'll just do, mago during post-production, But these are some things. Now, an amateur might not notice that sound is interfering with the original sound. Now you're shooting a garden scene. A garden is supposed to be a love area, very serene, very private. And then you're having drilling, except it is part of your scene, except it's part of your film. For instance, you would now cut to show us what is causing that sound, except you would do that, except it is deliberate. If not, it is a distraction. Do you understand? Except you are going to cut, maybe something is happening, that is why that sound is coming in, then we will go and see why they are drilling or something. If not, anything that is not part of that scene is a distraction. Except it is part of that scene, any other thing is distraction. Okay? So anybody has any other question?
Okay, so
Sandra,
please, the Foley.
Yes, please. Okay.
Do we buy the sounds? Like, is it bought or it's a free
Which of the
app?
sound? Which of the sounds?
Is it Ambience? I mean, you talked about Foley, where we could get something to incorporate in a scene, like we want. Maybe if it's a kissing scene, we don't just present the actors and they are doing their thing, and there's no loved up maybe sound
to go with it.
Sound effects. Yeah. So I'm asking, you mentioned Foley. I thought if I heard right, you said we could they make artificial sounds.
Yes, so I'm asking they create the sounds for you.
Sell it.
So yes, they sell it.
You have to buy. Okay.
Yes, you can buy. And I'll tell you where to get free sound effects tomorrow as well. I'll tell you where to get free sound effects for your film tomorrow during editing. Remind me.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
You said free. Let me jot it down. Free sound effect. So, and my other question, it's something, your view on something. I want to shoot a scene where, with a pitch. So there's a platform where spectators normally sit, but this would be quiet. There would be no spectators. There would be no footballers on the pitch. Just the actress, on the platform overlooking the pitch. So what kind of sound would go into this? It
depends on what's happening. What's happening in that scene? Why are they in that scene exactly? What's happening there?
It's just one person in the scene, and she's thinking. She's kind of sad, thinking, being reflective. And because you see on the platform, normally there's something like a rushing air. Because it's a bit high, it's something like the air or something.
Yes.
I don't know the sound. I don't know if I should put that kind of rushing air, or because the person is being reflective and the atmosphere is supposed to be like so cool, no giddy giddy or something. I do not
Okay.
know.
Yes, you can pass. You can pass off if you use the air. You can pass off like what will the air do in that kind of scene? For example, if the person was probably angry and trying to um exhale probably, or maybe the person, for example, let's take a scene I watched recently on an Ndani production. So this guy was supposed to get married to this girl, and then she said she was no longer getting married, and the guy just found out when he pushed her and pushed her. They went back to their rooms, and the guy kept on begging her, why don't you want to get married again? And the girl now confessed that she just slept with her ex the night before, so she cannot continue to get married. Now the guy walks away from that scene. Now he's choked already in that space where he was, where she just confessed. That kind of shock, that really you did this to me despite being my own and the rest and whatever. So that space where he and the lady were choked him. So if he moves to this scene where you're talking about now, it can pass with the air. It's like he's trying to breathe. For example, if you watch certain scenes, where hospital scenes where someone is trying to fight for their life, if you take note of the sound, you'll be hearing heartbeat. Poop, 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 poop. Have you taken note?
Yeah,
Certain
sometimes.
hospital
Yeah.
scenes give you that, to tell you that this person is fighting for their life. They'll be giving you that, whether you notice it or not. It's very silent, it's very subtle. But even with your own heartbeat, even horror films do it. They'll start giving you this sound, and then you're like, hey, you're looking, what's going to happen? Will this
Some
person come?
scary sound.
Do you understand? So with
Yes.
that kind of environment, if you take this person to that scene and you go with the breeze, heavy breeze, it can be like, oh, this person just wants to let their worries out in the air. But also, it will be sweet if you can still accompany it. If your shots are beautiful, for example, this kind of scene, if I were shooting it, I would go with like um a round shot, like over 360 shots around the person. Establish where the person is first, then I will go around this person, with music. I want to cool music to, like, this person needs to think. Can we think with this person? So the going around the person shows that this person is confused. Like, the person's head is everywhere, you know? Like, so we can zoom in, zoom out, just go with a confused kind of shot, So that will show that this person is actually confused. And your sound, the breeze, and if you're going with the breeze, I can feel like, okay, this person is trying to let go. That's what your breeze might convey to me if I'm trying to. But if I go with like music in that scene, like, and I'm going with my distorted shots, it means that this person is just confused. The person is trying to figure things out. So look at what works for you, basically. Remember what you were told yesterday. It's all about your creativity. How do you want to tell this story? The breeze will work. It's your shots as well. It's you telling the story. Depends on how you tell that story. It will work. It will work. Trust me. All right. So, Mercy Grace, you were going to say something.
Yes,
Yeah.
good morning. I
Good
wanted to
morning.
ask about, some scenes where we have voiceover and
Yes, voiceovers.
um, yes. So I wanted to ask if there is any special way to record voiceover. No, we have to record the action differently. Then we have to come and record the voice before we now merge both of them together during editing. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I want
Mm-hmm.
to ask.
Okay, so for a full narrative,
Yes.
okay, so I'll show you tomorrow a narrative I did with my baby at home. I'll show you tomorrow something like that. So the first thing first, that's why you were taught to create your shots list. So you create your shots list and shoot your film. Shoot your film. So with your script and your short list, you already know where your dialogue will fall if you have dialogue. Like, what I mean by dialogue is, when you're creating your script, of course, you're going to create what your narrator would say, right? So while you're creating your
Yes.
script, you're creating the actions and the rest, you're going to create what your narrator will say. So that's the only dialogue we're seeing. So your script already covers that. Your actions that that will be running on screen, then what your narrator will be saying. So have that script, then create your short list from the script. After you create your script, create your short list from the script and go and shoot first. So you shoot every action that you want that will be displayed on screen. Go and shoot it first. So when you're done shooting, your audio, the recording now, it's best to do a studio recording if you have a studio. If you can pay for studio time, go and pay for a studio time to get crisp, clear recording. But for we're talking like you and I now, right? You're using your
Yes.
phone to record and you're thinking, hey, where do I get a studio? I can't record in a studio. Nah. So except you're in Lagos, so because I know Lagos does not sleep. Except you're in Lagos. So look for the time of the night when your neighborhood is asleep. If your neighborhood is asleep, record with that silence. Let your narrator record that time. Okay, so target a very quiet time and get your narrator to record in the quiet. So the reason I said studio first is because a lot of studios have soundproof doors, and so the sound from outside will not penetrate. Okay, but since we are talking like this now, we are looking at DIYs way that we can do it, through all those koro, Okay, pardon me for those that are not Nigerians, they won't know koro. Okay, so what we mean is kona. Do you understand? So for those that cannot, we're talking like you and I now, we are just using our phones to record and we're thinking, okay, so I cannot get a studio right now. What do I do? A tip. Record in a quiet place, first of all. Make sure the narrator is recording in a very quiet place. The middle of the night is most, appropriate for that kind of job. And then if the person is recording, please don't get the person to record like this. So I'm talking to you now. I'm trying to tell you that this man is about to go and kill his wife, and the man is going to kill his wife. Don't let the person record directly talking into this, because all the sound, like the will still go in. The same technique of recording, clipping the mic on your character and getting all those unnecessary sounds will still enter. So what you need to do is keep this as close enough on a plain surface, as close enough to the narrator, and just let the narrator sit, close to it and voice directly into the mic. So not touching the mic, must not touch the mic. For no reason must your narrator or actor touch your mic. If not, your sound becomes shitty. Pardon my Spanish, but that's the best way to explain it. So on no account must your narrator or actor touch your sound. Keep your sound as close enough to your actor or narrator and let the person just voice into it. That's all you need in a quiet environment. Okay, so does that answer your question?
Yes, Yes. Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Any other question before we wrap up? I'm going to be sending you the videos, like I promised, from your facilitator about the lighting, and of course some videos I picked up on YouTube that might also help you. Your next class is coming up by 5 p.m. today. We're going to be talking about costume and props, very important to production. Then tomorrow we talk about editing. Okay, so do we have any other question on what we discussed this morning? Some tips and tricks around lighting and sound for you who's using your mobile device to record. Any question? Are we clear? Are we good to go? Are we ready to do this?
Yes, ma'am.
Ferry, have you been following? Did you miss out on any area? Arafat, I've been seeing you going and coming.
Yes, I've been following.
Okay.
It's funny at all, having to attend 2 meetings at the same time. It's crazy, but I've been following, and lighting is something I've always had paid extra attention to. And you mentioned open camera, which I've been using since last year. One of our trainings, we got exposed to open camera, and some other apps we can use for editing as well. And I've been doing some small things. It's just I have not majorly shot a film on my phone. So my present phone, the back camera is bad, but I'm planning on fixing or getting a new one as soon as possible because of this project. But then it doesn't stop me from doing my scripts and doing every other thing that is necessarily ready to be done. Particularly, I want to use this opportunity to just appreciate you for everything. Like, this is forehand exposition. You would really get this for free anywhere. Apart from the fact that I'm in a group where we also get exposed like this, so I know the quality of what we are getting here. And honestly, I'm grateful. Thank you. Not everybody will do this. Not everybody will do this. So just keep it up. I may not talk all the time, but I'm following you all the way. So for evening sessions, I should be available for the evening sessions. You'll be through training by 5 p.m. So I should be available for the evening sessions.
All right.
Thank you, and keep up.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Is Terry trying to speak?
Hello.
That was from Catherine. Okay, Catherine is speaking now. Is that Catherine? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I want to say a very big thank you for the insight you have given. Most of the tips you shared. I actually did not on my camera. I didn't want to appear because I'm right in the office with my colleagues. So I followed all through, and it's been a very nice one. I pray that I'll hopefully be available to join the 5 o'clock class also. Thank you so much. I hope I'm pardoned for not turning my video so that you can see me.
That's fine. That's fine.
Thank you so much.
Please try to do that by 5 p.m.
Want to share so that we can go through and be able to continue.
Definitely. I will do that. Yes.
Thank
yes.
you so
It's very important. Yes. You're welcome.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. So Arafat, you've been going in and out. Are we safe? Oh, I think the network is messing with her today. Don't worry, you'll get the recording after now. Okay, I can hear you now.
Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Welcome. Okay, ladies, this is how we wrap up this morning. Your facilitator will be from yesterday, from your directing and cinematography. For those who already did the assignments, you'll be getting feedbacks after now. And you'll also be getting the videos, like I promised, from the previous class. Tomorrow, we are talking about editing. Come prepared, come ready. Yes, I was going to talk about this. For a lot of scripts that were posted, a lot of you were writing large cast, kind of. So this is not part of lighting or sound, but just a tip, generally, when you're shooting one-on-one like this with your mobile device, you're starting off. It's easy to work with a crowd you can control. Try to make sure that I would prefer a 2-cast film of 7 minutes, 10 minutes than a shitty 10-cast film. No matter how you try to do it, trust me, when you have a production, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Trust me. And since you're the one handling both your shooting, your costuming, you're shouting at everybody, your energy might just infect every other person because you will be drained, and you don't want to be drained on your production. I'm talking from experience. So it's better you pick a production that you can handle personally. For example, shoot 1 or 2 or maximum 3 cast drama. Don't go shooting a village. Okay, have 1 or 2 actors doing 1 or 2 things that we can relate to, that you can control. Trust me, even with 1, 2, 3 actors, whatever that can go wrong will go wrong. Whatever that can go wrong will go wrong. I'm telling you from experience. So please, you're starting, it's better to grow like that, try your hands out there, look at what you can manage. Trust me, looking around you, even in a room, the room room where you are right now, you can shoot a full film without even showing any character, without even doing dialogue. Just look around you. I'm seeing Sarah looking at me now. Okay, Sarah is
Can you
saying
give
something.
an example? Because how do you shoot? I've seen movies where there are actors, I should say, or actresses, and then no one
Yes.
speaks. They just act out whatever they want to act out. But you
Yes.
mentioned even in my room, I can shoot a movie. We can shoot movies in a room with no actors, nothing. How can you give an example? Because I'm wondering, how would you shoot a movie with nobody?
So you know your director told you about POV yesterday, point of view, right? You learned about POV yesterday, a kind of shot from your directing class. You learned that yesterday, right? So I did a film about a lady who was suffering from domestic violence, and maybe I might share that tomorrow. I might show you tomorrow. So I didn't want to show the violence itself, and I didn't want to show the lady herself. But this is you just come in. For example, you're in your room now, and you're the one still playing your own character, and I was the one that played that character as well, that role. So I just position my camera and I get myself. I didn't get my face. I didn't want to show my face. I wanted the story to come from me, the actor. It's my POV, what I am seeing. Okay, so it's all happened in one room. So your actor wakes up, for example, and is looking around. Your camera has to pick the around, like what is if a phone is ringing, your actor picks the phone, and we're not seeing the actor, we're just seeing a hand picking a phone, and then we're just hearing the voice focusing on something else or whatever. Or you can put the phone on speaker and we're seeing the phone facing your camera, and we're just hearing, maybe on the phone we want to show who the person your character is talking to is a friend. On the phone, the name on the phone is saved as friend, best friend, or something, something, something. And then the phone is on speaker, and we are hearing your character's voice. We are hearing the other person's voice, and they are just talking and talking and talking and talking. And when they are done, your character just does and clicks off. We have not seen more than looking around, phone ringing, picking up the phone on speaker, phone in front of us, clicking of the phone off. These are shots. And you've told a story. This can last for up to a minute. You've told a 1 minute film. Do you understand? So these are the creative angles I want you to explore. You don't need to have a village to shoot a film. The most important thing is the message you want to pass. Look at how the simplest way you can do it, because right now you're limited with, first of all, a lot of times, I need to tell you about phone storage. Phone storage is another issue. So if you're going to be shooting with your phone, are you ready to clear your phone? Do you have 128 gig on your phone to shoot? Do you understand? So there are things that you need to look at realistically when you're going to shoot. So these are some of the areas. So please work with the resources that are available to you to make sure that you gain the most out of it. So these are just tips. I just thought to drop that tip now, because I know a lot of us are writing big stories. We want to go and shoot in a marketplace. We want to go and shoot in a car park. We want to go and shoot in, if your character is just one character that will be taking us around those places, no problem. But if you're going to be having people that will be coming, paying transport from their house to come and act for you, and you want to shoot early in the morning or late in the evening, well done, no. That's what I will tell you. All right. So any questions before we go? It's already 10:56. This is how we are going to end this morning. I hope you enjoyed this morning. Let me hear your voices before we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. All right, ladies, I'm going to be posting the links now. Please do well to watch them, and please stay online, because I'm going to be alerting your facilitator from yesterday to come and give feedbacks on your shots. And of course, if you're going to be reworking your scripts, please go and do that. And if your script right now is not at where it's supposed to be, don't worry about it. On Friday, you're going to be pitching, and you'll be getting your mentor. Your mentor's duty is to help you translate your vision into reality. So they can help you rework your script again and take you all the way okay, till you produce. So that's the concept behind what we are doing here. We want to see that you're able to maximize whatever little resources you have to create as much. That's what we are really looking to do. All right, so have a great day, everybody. Until 5 p.m. Your next class will be scheduled now, but stay on the group, watch the videos that will be sent, and also engage with your facilitator. Have a great day.
Have a great day too. Thank you.
Bye.